after bashing President Donald Trump, claiming that he's starting an economic Armageddon. Liberal Nancy Pelosi is being made to eat her words. You don't want to miss this. Nancy Pelosi, photo credit, YouTube, PBS NewsHour. House Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi, DCA, has caused the Democratic Party a tremendous amount of embarrassment during her many years in political office. Now, the problem with Pelosi just seems to be getting worse after she accused President Donald Trump of starting an economic Armageddon without realizing that she'd have to eat her words. On Friday, March 9, 2018, Marc, Trump's White House Director of Legislative Affairs and assistant to the president, appeared on Fox News Varney & Co. with a brutal message for Pelosi after booming jobs numbers were reported for the month of February. Short's interview was focused on responding to Pelosi over her incessant trashing of the president's tax cut bill, which has created more jobs and put more money into the bank accounts of hard-working Americans. Brutal reality for Pelosi is that over 4.4 million working Americans, spread across over 400 corporations, have been given a bonus due to Trump's tax cuts passed in December. Although Pelosi recently flip-flopped on her initial statement that the bonuses were crumbs, she still maintains that the tax cut bill was passed for the benefit of corporations and the 1%ers in our country. We're excited about all the change we've made from a regulatory perspective, as well as the tax relief that's allowing the private sector to take off, Short said. Varney asked Short to address the recent statement made by Pelosi on the jobs report, where she said, February's job report shows that, while jobs continue to be created, working Americans are still not getting the bigger paychecks they deserve. According to democraticleader.gov, Pelosi's statement added, strong job growth means little to the American workers forced to work multiple jobs because of stagnant wages. Republicans passed a debt exploding GOP tax scam that hands massive windfalls to the rich and to corporations on the backs of hard-working Americans. After Varney quoted Pelosi's statement, Short quickly replied, well, Nancy Pelosi said that the tax package would be economic Armageddon. She said that it would be crumbs, and yet, today, we have 4.4 million workers across America who've either received a pay raise or a bonus. We have 432 companies we know of that have announced those pay raises and wage increases. He continued, I think that Nancy Pelosi continues to remain out of touch, and maybe she wishes to go back to the Obama years when our GDP averaged 1.8%. We had no wage inflation, no wage growth. We think that the numbers are exactly perfectly in line, does not stoke inflation fears, yet at the same time, is providing a number that is 0.5% CPIs as far as wage inflation growth. Short concluded, so I just think that her perspective of what economic Armageddon looks like continues to remain out of touch. Marc, Short is correct. Nancy Pelosi is grasping at straws in a pathetic attempt to find some kind of fault with President Trump and his tax cuts. The bottom line is that there have been tremendous benefits for American workers and households since the tax bill was passed. Yet do Democrats to continue resisting when there is no reason to resist? They continue to bash Trump when there is no reason to do so. The end result will be much like the presidential election results in 2016, where Democrats saw a huge number of voters disenfranchised with the never-ending nonsense. President Donald Trump has done more for our country in just over 1 year than former President Barack Obama did during his entire 8 years in office. When it comes to business sense and economic growth, there isn't anyone who can hold a candle to Donald Trump. Follow us on Facebook, Gap.